What is going on, my future meta millionaires? It is your boy Terry Stonkers, and welcome to my channel, baby. Buy the dip. All right, guys. Today I want to focus on the dividend. I want to focus on oil. I'm going to focus on a little bit of what John Brda had to say, and we're going to focus on that potential divvy price, looking over the charts of where oil is setting at, and we got the facts to prove it. So, hope you're all ready for today's video. If you are, make sure you smash thumbs up, leave a comment down below, because it helps out that algorithm. So I want to first start out by saying thank you to our girl Bird Lady here, and she has a post out here, and she's asking George a question. It says, "Hey, hello at Palacaris. Drilling supervisor for Hudspeth Operating says that lateral drilling on the new 4 vertical wells begins June 1st, and is public information. Can you confirm this information? I sincerely appreciate your help. RP Roller Pigeon." And this person here says, "Why does no one copy at John Brda on these oil drilling info requests?" And we get a reply from John Brda. "You can copy me all you want. I can't respond to any of them. I have to follow MMAT's lead on all of this." So I must say, first I want to say thank you to John Brda for replying back, because we as retail investors, we've been covering this since May, June of last year, and here we are coming up into May and June of this year. So we have been covering this for a year, and we just want some transparency. That's really what we want. Like I said, I still trust George, but I do believe we need more transparency during this time from the CEO. Now, I understand George is not an oil and gas expert, but he could have someone just give some kind of information from Torchlight or from Hudspeth, or some oil expert could give us some kind of answers, just confirming anything. So that's all I'm asking. Like I said, we know George is no oil and gas expert, so we're not expecting him to do that, but we would like to get some answers on that. So what I wanted to do then is, like I said, thank you to John for replying on that. Brda, I think, is really excited about everything. He replied pretty much right away. George is kind of 50-50 if he replies. He does pick and choose what he will reply to. And as we know, oil is hush-hush, so there isn't going to be much talking going on for that. So what I want to do now is take a look here, guys. I wanted to go back and take a look here at WTI crude oil, and this is the 1-year chart, because if we can get what we're thinking here on this potential dividend, and you want to go on the average price of WTI crude. I also got something, we're going to look at Brent crude as well, just to kind of get a ballpark, but WTI crude is the main one we want to look at. Here you can see the chart. Back 1 year, I mean, it was setting at like $60, 61, 62, then, 65, then it goes up to 75 roughly. We hang around the 70s for a while. We drop back down to the low 60s. We start climbing back up to the 70s here. We hit up into the 80s. Then we drop back down to the 60s, even a little bit here in the 70s. And we see it's a straight climb up since there. And that's for the 1-year chart from back there to now. As you can see, we rose up. People took profits and stuff, sold off, took profits, boom, 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 boom. So as the economy, in a sense, got worse, and all these factors of oil going crazy. So what I did was I pulled up this chart here, and this is the average annual West Texas Intermediate WTI crude oil price from 76 to 22. Now, we don't need all that. All we need is just really 21 and 22. Maybe even a little bit of 20. Now 2020 was a bad year for oil. I mean, average price for the whole year of 2020, guys, $39.16. So that was a bad time to, be having the oil, and I guess it was a good time for Meta to be purchasing an oil company, because oil was pretty much at its low since probably 2004. Back here in 2020. So 16-year low, as you can see on that chart. If we bump up to 2021, you see here, average price starts to increase. Now we're at $67.99. So what I'm getting at here is usually if there is a deal on oils, they can usually pick how far back they want to take an average. So if we look at Meta's recent acquisition of the plasma company, they went back over the last 10 trading days of where MetaMaterials stock was trading. So that price was $1.86 at that time. So that is what they gave the stock, MetaMaterials stock, to Plasma app for $1.86 per share of the $20 million. So that's how that worked out. Now, oil, sometimes they do a year average. So they don't do just the last 10 days. They're probably going to go back about a year. I think that's pretty average of where they're going to go at on the oil. And if we look here so far for 2022, our average price 4 months into this is $94.45. So here you can see about $68 for 2021. And so far here, we're about $95 roughly. So if we would shoot somewhere in the middle, I would say it'd be like $80 would be roughly about the middle of WTI crude. So 80 bucks. And if you look here at the chart, I mean, that's probably average. There's a lot of 60s and 70s. And then here it was up in the 80s. And these last, here, since about the beginning of the year is where it was really, so these last 3 months have been really fantastic for oil, being above $80 and driving that average price up. So as you can see here today, shows it at $106. So if we go take a look here at oilprice.com, it shows WTI crude at $107. Brent crude is at $111. So if we go back here to our handy chart, we got to thank our buddy Tony, and we say our average price for 1 year is around maybe $80 per barrel of oil. And that's going back to maybe April of 2021 through April of this year. Now, her post, Roller Pigeon, says they're going to do some drilling here in June. So if that's the case, we could go for, see, I know it sucks that this is getting dragged out, but in a sense, as you see here, the longer this drags out and the longer they would say go a year from today, the higher our average price of oil is going to be. Ironic enough, because the beginning of the year is where it really started to pick up the price of oil. If we go back here to this one here, no, it was this one. So, I mean, even back in November, it was in the 80s. So then it dropped back down beginning of December down to, high 60s. But still, the longer we go, the better off this is going to be because, hey, take the last 6 months, take the last year. If we did 6 months, we would get a fantastic dividend according to this chart. Now, our buddy Tony here has this for a non-taxable event. So if they would do the non-taxable event, and I would say current day, if they would go about a year from today, I would say average oil from April to April of last year is about $80 a barrel. And if we look at the chart here at $80 a barrel, guys, we're looking at a potential dividend of $51.34. So that would be true. I mean, like I said, Roller Pigeons is putting her guesstimate at 29 to 46, and she's being very conservative that. And if we take that 1 year average and we go here to the $80 average from 1 year from today, we could be looking at a $50 plus dividend. And that is saying if all this here, the cost of goods, the discount value for oil, the corporate tax rate and underwriter fees, and the shares outstanding. So we still got to wait and see how all this unfoils. How this, my words are all whatever. Trying to put this video together, but I thought it was very interesting to see there about John Brda replying to this because he cares. I really think now this is just me thinking out loud, this is all speculation. If John Brda was still in charge of this, we'd be getting updates probably daily on this, in my personal opinion. So I know I have all trust that George and Ken and Meta wants to get the Series A preferred shareholders the maximum value, but I think they're just lacking the information. Probably because of maybe MMTLP trading, and maybe they just don't want to promote MMTLP, so that's why they're not putting out much information, because like I said, this was never supposed to be traded. But a lot of us are happy because we are able to pick this up and have this opportunity for possibly life-changing amounts coming for this dividend. So that is all I got for you in today's video. If you enjoyed it, please smash thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. It helps out that algorithm. So like I said, comment down below. Do you think if John Brda was able to speak his mind, that we would be getting a lot more updates about the Torchlight lane? Because he knows what's going on. Trust me, he knows. And it's probably killing him that he can't talk about it. And this here confirms it, that he has to let Meta run the show, and he has to sit back and watch. But keep this in mind. Brda has said, and George has even said this at the interview with Ken Rice with Sterling, that John Brda, Greg McCabe, two of the largest shareholders of MetaMaterials and, Torchlight Series A preferred shareholders, they haven't sold a single share. Now, if John Brda wasn't happy, Greg McCabe wasn't happy, Greg McCabe wouldn't be funding this project. John Brda would have sold out of his stuff and took the profits, because I think they know what's coming, but they just can't really talk about it because, as we know, oil is hush-hush. So I'll catch y'all next video. May do one tomorrow and Sunday. We'll see. I know I got to come out with an options video, and I think I wanted to do one on my dividends only account. We did start that up, and I got a couple of stocks in there I think I want to go over with you guys as well. So have a great evening. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.